Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today I am reviewing another movie. It's been about time, am I right? Um, Also, just a heads up, in the future I might be doing a review on Umbrella Academy. I'm not done with it yet, so I can't do it yet. And maybe not Wizards, but we'll see. So, let's talk about another Netflix movie that came out. Was it last week? I think, yeah, last week. And this movie is called Animal Crackers. It's a movie that's distributed by Netflix, but not made by Netflix. It's actually made by a studio called I'm gonna botch the name, Blue Dream Studios. That's what it's called. Now, before I talk about the actual movie itself, I would have to also talk about the production of this movie because, to an extent, the production is more entertaining than the actual movie. But at the same time, I feel like I really cannot talk about this movie without the production of this movie. This is by far one of the most complicated movies I have ever reviewed. Um, Again, so I just ask that you forgive me if at some point the video just stops and I'm at a loss of words, or maybe I'm repetitive, or maybe I'm just circling around things, or it just gets a bit boring. But I will do my best to segment this video into areas where you'll find enjoyment. So before I talk about the actual movie, let's talk about the production of this movie. So again, this movie is made by Blue Dream Studios. I swear that's the name. Yeah, Blue Dream Studios. And apparently this is the first movie that they've ever made. Now, the thing with this movie is it came out this year, yes, but the movie was originally made in 2017 and it was meant to air in theaters in 2017. However, the creator of this movie, Scott, in fact, what's so funny with Scott is that, by the way, he's such a wholesome dude. I haven't done research on him, but the video you're seeing here, the trailer I'm playing for you guys, this is Scott's video. He's left comments down there, he's answering people. This is his trailer, the one he uploaded on his channel. So yeah, so Scott is the creator of this movie. I don't know his last name, so forgive me, Scott. Anyway, he created this movie, and this trailer that I'm putting for you guys here is on his channel. So yeah, so even he's commenting, he's people are asking him things, he's answering for them. So far so good. Scott seems to be a pretty right guy. So again, in the comments he did mention, I'll probably leave a link to the trailer just so you can go check out Scott. I mean, he hasn't been on in 3 years, but again, so yeah. But he did say that this is his first movie. Now, what's so confusing about this movie is again, the only, how should I say, so again, the movie was made in 2017, and Scott wanted it to be a theatrical released movie. He didn't want a straight to DVD movie or it to be a YouTube movie. He wanted it to be a theatrically released movie, and so he went to I think different studios and such to kind of ask them to release the movie for him in theaters. However, no one was willing to distribute it for him, and what do you know? Scott got his lucky day because 2020 came. We had COVID, the Schmigel-Liga virus, and because of that, no studios were airing no theaters were airing movies, right? So Netflix came in and saved the day. It's yo, Scott, how about I distribute your movie for you? So that's what happened. 2020 rolled around. Since everyone is at home, Scott was able to get his movie on a wide release. Even though it wasn't a theatrical release, it was still wide enough that practically millions of people around the world have seen this movie already. So not a theatrical release, but dang, is it probably even it's probably even better than a theatrical release because again, everyone is home and it's on Netflix, the largest streaming service in the world. Netflix distributed this for Scott. So that's what happened. Animal Crackers is made by Blue Dream Studios. However, Netflix distributed it. So it's not really been in production hell. It's more of in distribution hell, in that it took him 3 years to finally get his movie aired for the people, because again, it was meant to come out in 2017, but because no one was willing to do it for him, he had to wait until 2020 before he finally did anything. So it's crazy. Yeah, so that was the production and the distribution of this movie. It was very weird, very strange. And I guess because of that, it would tie into what I would have to say about this movie, or at the very least what I about the review I have for this movie. So, Scott, I know you are a big supporter of people who are reviewing this movie. Like, you love checking the reviews and such. So, here you go. I'm officially reviewing your movie. So, again, I've told you the backstory of this movie, and I think the backstory of this movie will tie into my actual thoughts. So, again, this is one of the more complicated movies, so I'm gonna tie it into the good, the bad, and the complicated. Let's start with the good. I mean, the mixed bag. Yeah. So let's start with the good. The lighting in this movie, not the entire, and no, let me save that for later. Let's start with, I don't know, the concept. So the concept for this movie isn't really much of a concept because this movie is based off a book that came out in 2010. So in 2010 there was a book called Animal Crackers, where if you ate a cookie, it turned into an animal. So that's what this movie is based off of. So the concept is pretty cool because you eat a cookie, you turn into an animal. Though the rules are very weird because like if you eat a cookie, it will regenerate in the box you got the cookie from, and if you want to turn back into a human cookie will form in the box. However, if you lose the human cookie, you lose it for good, but the animal cookie stays. So I'm just confused as to why they won't allow the human cookie to regenerate in the box. I don't know, that's such a weird rule to me, but like it's whatever. That's the only rule I feel like they were playing fast and loose with. Everything else kind of segued better. What else would I say about this film? The characters are also good, most of them. It's like we got this clown dude, the fat clown guy, I'm forgetting his name. We have the main character, Mike, I think. And then we had his wife, Zoe, and his kid, Mackenzie. Mackenzie is honestly really one of the better child characters I've seen in movies in general. Because in live action movies, the child characters are just like, meh, 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 meh. And in animated movies, they're all just so loud and annoying. Mackenzie really isn't loud and annoying in this movie. She's just your naive little girl. She's honestly just too adorable for this movie. We have the villain who's like the uncle of Mike. He's as corny as they get. Let me just say, he is so corny. First of all, like even his design is weird because like in his younger form, he looks like Elvis, and when he's old, he looks like a gorilla. Like there's no short way to say he looks like an ape when he's older. So yeah, that's what I found was weird. He just looked like an ape when he was old. I'm just expecting him to eat a cookie and turn into a gorilla. And motivation. The motivation is literally nothing. Like his brother gets the girl instead of him, and like he's upset because he didn't get the animal cookies and he didn't get the girl. And I'm like, so what, dude? Just like get over it. One thing I will say about him though that was redeemable for his character is that, well, for one, he's a villain who's actually a man of their word. If he does something, at least he'll do it and not like turn his back halfway through. So he's a guy who sticks to the end. Another thing I like about him was his song. It could have been mine. It should have been mine. The song itself isn't great. However, I did like the music and I did like the visuals. You could tell they had a lot of fun animating those visuals. Again, I don't have a lot of things to say about the good. It's not like this movie's bad. It's just that whatever is good can also be said to be meh. I've seen this in every animated film. The only other thing I'll say about this movie is, what the heck? It is so chock full of celebrities. I swear, like almost every main character is a celebrity. And I don't know how they were able to do it, because this feels like a film that was made like kind of with a low budget. Not that it looks ugly, it just has that feeling that it was made with a low budget, and it was more like a passion made film rather than a corporate made film. Not like in terms of themes or anything, but more like you could tell like 10 people worked on this rather than an entire office. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually surprised as to how many celebrities they got in this. I can't remember all their names for the life of me, but I do know the characters they played. Like I know we had there was Esmeralda, who was voiced by Tara Strong. She played Raven from Teen Titans and Ben 10. There was a dude who played Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. There was a guy who played Rex from Toy Story, and even Dowdai from the Kung Fu Panda show. There were really a lot of celebrities here that I identified. I don't know whether that's on the case of bad acting then, because like I was able to identify them so easily, or whether I don't know. But yeah. Oh, there was even Danny DeVito in here. He played the dad from Smallfoot and a bunch of other movies I can't bother to remember right now. But yeah, they were There were a lot of celebrities. I would say they did a good job, like in playing the characters. But again, I don't know what they were on like during filming, but I was just able to identify them so easily. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, the celebrities they did a good job. They voiced their characters well. It was all right. Mike and Zoe were actually a cute couple. I really did like their chemistry together. Like when they were on screen together, I don't know. There was something genuine about it. The only thing I just didn't like was the writing between them. Like whenever they would have a conversation, it was so cringy. Like I would rather like that. Like we're just having like these more serious conversations. Because when they're not being serious with each other, it just becomes a cringe fest. God, I felt like dying. So I guess I should talk about the bad. The bad, really, I don't have a lot to say about it. It's what can I say about the bad? The writing. No offense, Scott. I know you're the one who wrote this movie, so no offense, but like you might have to improve on your writing. It's not the best. Also, like the reason, like here's the thing. Like at the beginning of the movie, we have the uncle who tells his bro, "Yo, you either choose your wife or me," and he chooses the wife instead. And I'm like, what was the stakes? He chooses his wife, he keeps his job. So what? It's not like he was gonna get fired. His brother even stayed in the circus as well. So I don't even know what he wants. Um, yeah. So it was weird. I feel like whenever a character is faced with a dilemma, it's a choice that could easily be that could easily be overcome. Like the dude chooses the wife and keeps his job. Okay. The dude wants to marry. Mike wants to marry Zoe. Is it Mike? I don't think his name is Mike. It's someone else. I'm pretty sure. But Mike wants to marry Zoe, and her dad is like, I don't want you to marry her unless you work at my biscuit factory. He works at the biscuit factory, but he could just easily leave the biscuit factory and go back to the circus. Like he's already married to Zoe. He already has a daughter. The father-in-law has no hold of him. Why is he like so hell-bent on impressing him? If it was like the other... And then there's also this point in the movie where Zoe says, yo, I'll work at the circus. You stay at the biscuit factory if you want. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. The roles are reversed. For some reason, I feel like the roles are reversed in that Zoe is like working at the circus and Mike is at the biscuit factory. I feel like she should be the one at the biscuit factory because her dad is making her to. I don't know. That's just me. I wasn't a big fan of like the reversed roles, and again, the writing. It's really not supporting this story. So, but there's like this saying out there where bad writing cannot save good animation, and however, good writing can save bad animation. So, or wait, no, it was this saying: good animation can't save bad writing, but good writing can save bad animation. So, I guess we should talk about the animation. The animation for me falls in the mixed bag. The animation for me falls into the mixed bag category. Reason being, how should I say? Let me talk about, where do I even start? Let's start with the general animation, like the backgrounds and such. That's all right. Like we've seen that in every other animated movie. It's all right. It's passable. What I am having an issue with is the character designs. The characters just like, some of them look so weird and out of this world. Like Mackenzie really doesn't look like Mike and Zoe's daughter. And Zoe, okay, no, Mike and Zoe look all right for this world. It's just like, I don't know, some of these character designs do not fit in with the background. It's like they come from two separate worlds. It's so weird. I mean, it's not like they're all bad. Like, okay, how do I say it? Like, I loved Brock's design. Like, the big, muscular, dumb jock kind. I loved Brock. By the way, before I continue on with the animation, Brock as a character is hilarious. And the fact that they got the guy who voiced Kronk to play him, is hilarious. I died every time Brock was on screen. Like he was a huge douche for sure, but like he was hilarious. So like Brock, I liked his design. I liked the CEO's design. The dad. But I don't know. I just wasn't into Mackenzie's design or even Mike's design. Zoe was all right, but I don't know. There was just something about it that was off. Even the animals look a bit weird. Like the elephant is a bit weird. The lion I don't know. Maybe it's like the exaggerated chin. I don't know. I just feel like some of the exaggerations they put on the animals did not need to be that much. But that's just me. I don't speak for everyone here. So yeah, the character designs to me are indeed a bit odd. I'm not gonna lie. But now back to, so yeah, character design wise, I'm not in love with it. The lighting is great. I don't know why, but to me, I feel like the best part of this movie is the lighting. Like the way it bounces off the surfaces, it makes features more more described. I don't know. The lighting in this movie is really good, and maybe that's where all the budget went to. No offense, Scott. But now, like, what else do I say? At least there's no forced love triangle between Brock, Zoe, and Mike. In fact, I feel like another reason why this movie didn't grow on me as much is because it's like there's so much effort this movie is putting in to avoid all the cliches that it's to avoid as many cliches as it can, that it ends up forgetting to tell its own story, and instead it's focusing more on like avoiding so many cliches. Like some of them are good, like I like how it avoided most of the cliches, but on the other hand it's like so confusing. So yeah, I don't know. What else can I say about the animation? I've talked about the character designs, the overall background, the lighting. Okay, talked about the animation. Then we have the characters. Alright, let's do this. This is probably the hardest category I'm gonna have to go through. Let me just go for the easy ones. Mackenzie already said she was fine. Zoe and Mike, I don't know. Half the time I feel like their roles are reversed. What else can I say? Brock was cool. I laughed with Brock. He was a bit too over the top for me at some points, but he was fine. And the villain, again, was corny AF. What the biggest gripe I have with this movie as a whole, not just character-wise, is with the uncle. So, apparently, before the villain, put the uncle's caravan on fire, he and his wife turned into a dog and cat. And here's the funny thing. They went to the uncle's funeral, and the dog was there. He didn't bother to say anything. In fact, the dog didn't say anything until the climax. Why? For a last-minute twist. Mind you, I saw this twist coming the minute the villain stepped into the caravan. I'm like, oh yeah, the uncle is the dog and his wife is the cat. Like, no surprise there. I just did not like how they drew this out. And mind you, the dog was there for like so many scenes. He even attended his own funeral and didn't bother to say anything. I don't know. It was so annoying. Like, you got given like his nephew on how to use, like, some info on how to use the animal crackers. No, he just left that on his buddy's head. I'm like, dude, I get it, you're a dog, but like, do some work, man. God. And he only shows up at the climax, says a couple of lines, and then doesn't say anything for the rest of the movie. Like, I feel he would have been better off dead than being a dog. Because if him being the dog, it was so pointless. And him, like, revealing he's the uncle felt so last minute. And yet, I know it wasn't last minute because I already knew from the beginning of the movie. I just don't get the back and forth with it. I don't know. It's just my biggest problem with the movie. What else can I say? The villains again were fine. I didn't like the uncle villain. He was like a bit too corny. I did like his sidekick Zucchini. Zucchini, I don't know. He sounds familiar. He kind of reminds me of Iago, though not like really. Zucchini was hilarious. I love Zucchini. Then there were the other villains who didn't get much screen time, so I can't say they had much of a personality. Like, there was a dude who breathed fire, there was a dude who was strong, and there was a dude who did knife tricks. So I don't know, I wasn't into those guys. I was more into Zucchini and the old guy. Then we have the songs. This movie really doesn't know whether or not it wanted to be a musical or not. Because, like, for the first half of the movie, there were 2 songs, both of which were sung by the villain. Then for the second half of the movie, there were no songs. And if there were songs, they were pop songs. So, again, this movie really didn't know whether or not it wanted to, like, do some songs. Because, like, at the back half of the movie, they were pop songs. But and you know they were pop songs because none of the main characters sang those songs. Whereas like in the first half, we had at least 2 original songs, and they were both sung by the villain. The first one was the villain singing about how great the circus is, and even then, I'll get on the music in a bit. And then the second one was him singing "It should have been mine. It could have been mine. It should have been mine." All right. The problem I have with these songs is A, one character is singing them. What the heck? B, how do I put it? Like, the music doesn't match up with the lyrics. I don't know. Maybe it's like the music is like too quiet, or so that it doesn't like overshadow the lyrics, or maybe like it's just maybe the music is too quiet so that you don't hear it. Or, I don't know, it just feels out of sync. It feels like when the characters are singing something, the music is like slightly behind or slightly ahead. Or maybe it's just one is too loud, the other is too quiet. I just don't know what the issue is with the songs. The music just doesn't pair up with the lyrics. The first song I could forgive. Maybe he's like talk singing his way through it, like how Scar did in Lion King 2019. A dumb move, but it could work. The second one was more song like. However, I don't know. It just felt I don't know, like to me it felt like when on set they were having such an issue trying to mix the lyrics with the music. So yeah, I don't know. But that's basically all I have to say about Animal Crackers. The songs are okay, but the music is just like way off. Um, the animation is both good and bad. Like I like the lighting, I like some of the designs, though not all of them. The characters are all great, sort of. I like the clown guy, I like Brock, but the CEO, I just could not stand him. Oh, there was like even a scientist lady in the movie. I did the only thing I like about her was a change of clothes, showing that her personality was changing. Like at the beginning of the movie, she always hid behind her lab coat like this, showing that she was shy. Then at the end, she's like wearing some more less covering clothes, like showing she's more confident. That was the only thing I liked about it. So I didn't have anything interesting to say about her. Brock was again by far my favorite character. The songs I only liked one, and even again the music was a bit too like weird for me. The story itself, the story on its own is fine, though I'm wondering why it took us like 35 minutes until Mike bit into the first animal cracker. That's another thing with this movie is that the pacing is way off, especially for the first act. The movie really did not know how to start. So, yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that because like it did get better later on, but the pacing for this movie is very bad. The climax was entertaining. I did like the climax. Very entertaining, very enjoyable, and yeah, all in all, that's what I have to say about Animal Cracker. So, do I think that this movie should have been shown in theaters, or do I think it should have been a DVD release movie? For one, I don't think that this movie really should have been DVD released. It doesn't feel like it's low enough to be on that level. At the same time, I don't think it's high enough to be theatrically released. Like if it was released in theaters, I don't think it would have competed with other movies like Disney, with other studios like Disney and DreamWorks and such. You definitely do need to do a bit more work. But I feel so that's why I feel like a streaming service is definitely the perfect home for this thing, where you can get a wide audience like the theatrical movies, but at the same time it doesn't get swept under the rug like DVD released movies. So yeah, I feel like Netflix is the perfect home for this movie. So Scott, I hope to see more movies from you down the line. I hope to see more of your work. I get you're a guy who really talks to the public, so more props and respect to you. As you can see, I'm playing your trailer over and over, so that's something. And yeah, so hope to see more stuff from you, but at the same time, I don't feel like this movie was really meant to be in theaters as much. I mean, I know we've allowed some atrocities on theaters like Norm of the North and Arctic Dogs, but we like to pretend those don't exist. If this was in theaters, I think it would exist, though it would be more forgettable. So I feel like if it's on Netflix, a bit more people will talk about it. So overall, this movie is passable, not average, just passable. I can't say I want to give it a 6 out of 10, but I feel like really aside from this, it's only 5. So again, because of my complicated feelings, I don't usually do the point system, but I might have to do it for this one. I feel like this movie deserves a 5.5 out of 10. Not the best, but for sure not the worst. If you have kids, you can go watch this, though I recommend don't watch it on your own. It's a bit weird if you watch it on your own. So yeah, go watch this movie. Scott, I'm reviewing your movie. If you can check me out, that'll be great. Tell your friends to subscribe to me and such. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about Animal Crackers. It's on Netflix right now, so you can do whatever you want with it. Alright guys, that's me. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm kind of out of video ideas, that's why I didn't upload one last week. So let me know if you have anything for me. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I've been Captain Phoenix, and with that, I will see you in another universe.